Hey, it's Natalie with the Think Yourself Academy. We're going to talk about spring cleaning. And no, I am not talking about the Tupperware drawer that you can hardly close. I'm talking about spring cleaning our mind, because life is going fast. There are tons and tons of changes that we are facing. We have faced in the past 3 years for sure, and it's still coming. Change is the only constant in life, and there will be more changes. Therefore, we need to adapt. And if we do nothing and we hope that something magical happens, it will not fix the fact that potentially maybe our business is not thriving. Potentially our life is not really the life that we've been wanting. If you're not living the dream, there's something you can do. And here are 6 keys that might help you thrive through that change. Because when there's so many things changing, we're just busy trying to survive and adapt to all the things that are keeping us busy, and we forget to be who we want to be. We forget to live the life we want to live, and we forget the projects that are really important to us and the actual purpose of why are we doing it all. So here's the first key, starting with S, spring cleaning. So S, to start. You have to just start. You don't need to be good at something in order to start it, but you need to start it in order to be good at it, right? We have to be willing to take some risks. We have to try without the parachute. We have to put ourselves out there and just do it. So start that project, start putting yourself out there and become good at this new project or this new mission or the new type of person that you want to be. The second letter is P, for productivity. So productivity is not about simply doing things faster. Maybe if you just ignore all the paperwork and the stuff that you have to do, it would just go away. It doesn't go away. We need to prioritize. But how do you do that when there's so much going on? Productivity is always easier when you schedule the things you have to do and prioritize them in alignment with your purpose. So P for productivity and also purpose. If you go back to what's the goal of it all, what's really important to me, then it's much easier to focus on that goal, on that purpose, and say no to everything else. Does that really contribute to my ultimate purpose? If yes, there you go, I'm doing it. If not, then I'm just being distracted here. Third one, R for resilience. So S-P-R-I-N-G, R for resilience. Because change is not always fun. Very often we respond to change and we don't like it. And if you are managing a team, potentially you may get some pushback when there's some changes. But these changes need to happen, because otherwise maybe the company is not going to be able to continue as is. So we need to be resilient. In order to do that, you have to take the time to be willing to learn. So take a break and say, okay, there's a change. I'm not comfortable with it. So I'm just going to recover, and then I will respond to this change with an enthusiastic attitude, as opposed to be afraid, scared, building some anxiety or some stress around it. I will be curious as to I wonder, how is it going to be a good thing in the end? What am I going to learn? What am I going to become better at? So resilience, meaning taking the time to take a breather and then deciding how you want to respond and react to that change. S-P-R-I-N-G, I for identity. When we talk about change, we have to talk about ourselves as well. Is there anything in your own personality that you wish was different? Observe you first, because sometimes it's very easy to point fingers at everybody else and say, oh my gosh, they don't get it. Well, potentially, there's something that you could potentially do yourself in order to be better understood, maybe. Look at all the things you love about yourself, about your identity, and look at the things that you're thinking, I wish I was more like this. I wish I was more like that. So if there's anything that you would like to be more of, or you look at somebody and you're like, I wish I was like that. Well, you can be. Your personality is not set in stone. So have a look at your identity and become the person that you really want to be. And that brings me to the next letter, S-P-R-I-N-G, N for nice. Be nice. In doubt, just be nice. So I have to say that people will always remember how you make them feel. And sometimes in the name of productivity and reaching the goal and reaching the target or your own personal gain, you may forget to be nice. Or maybe there's just so much going on, right? And you respond in a way that even surprises you. You know, when you're in the kitchen cooking and you're thinking about the problem from the office or those bills you have to pay, and then you're all stressed out, your daughter comes behind you and she said, "Hey, mommy," and you go, "What?" And then you're like, you know that this is not how you wanted to respond, but there's so much accumulation of stress in your prefrontal cortex that you're in overload, and then you respond in a way that you would have preferred not to. You know exactly what you wanted to say. You wanted to say, "Hey, sweetie, what can I do for you?" But somehow you responded with something else. So make the time to clean what's in the drawer. What is making you respond like that? That's what I do. I help my clients get rid of all the things that are holding them back so that they can quickly respond at their very best. Because very often, especially if you're an entrepreneur, if you're working in a corporation in a senior role, the decisions you make are worth thousands of dollars sometimes. You don't have time to start responding in emotion or based on past limiting belief. You have to respond calmly with the best of yourself. And talking about yourself brings me to the last point, G, S-P-R-R-N-G, G for genuine. It doesn't matter at the end of the day what you're doing or how you are trying to respond. You need to be yourself, because who you are will always win. You at your deepest self, who you are will always win. And when you are at your very best, you are genuinely your best, that's when you feel that you can thrive through any change and you can be bring it on attitude, because you are genuinely yourself and confident. So the very best project that you will ever work on is yourself. So you first, and then you can take care of everybody else. So be genuinely you, love who you are, and then you can be there for everybody else. So happy spring cleaning, everyone, and I will see you next week.